Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to our video. This is our project task of literature in English language teaching.
We are here to serve you a learning video about poetry musicalization.
But before we are going to the materials, let us to introduce ourselves first.
I'm Risa Ansari.
And my name is Dex Erharu.
I am Fania Fadia Caroline.
Well, in this video, our group wants to explain about how to using musicalization poetry video to teach English. Musical poetry is a musicalization of poetry. It means that the poem must be sung. This is the combination of the sense of literature and the sense of music. In other words, it seems like the poem is the song lyric that must be musicalized. It can be read but not for the whole because the main idea is how to deliver the poem in the form of music or song. In this video, we focus the recommendation how to using musicalization poetry to teach English. The first session, teacher need to giving a greeting of student. After that, teacher giving instruction for free. Next, teacher should checking the attendance list. And then, teacher before explain about the preview material. The first teacher should know basic competencies that must be used in musicalization poetry video material. The second, teacher should know what is objective learning from the material. The third, teacher discuss about the assignment material.
Well, I will continue the second section. I will explain about the first. This is a definition about musical poetry video. And for the second, there are the structure of poetry. 1. Poetry typography is start at the left edge and to the right edge of the line. 2. Diction is a choice of words used to have a beautiful impression and convey the poet's intent. Imaging. This makes the reader feel, hear, or see something the poet said. Images is the language used by poets to say something by comparing it with other objects or things. And then rhyme is the equation, sound, repetition. And then the last, rhythm, relating to the rhymes, sounds, words, phrases, and sentences in poetry. So, the third is the characteristics of poetry. 1. Language compression. 2. Makes the words in the poem feel alive so that they can be bewitch the reader. 2. Selection of distinctive words. It suggests the meaning of the keys, symbols, sound, parallels, or rhyme. 3. Concrete words. Words were chosen that made everything seem touchable. For poets, this is felt more clearly. And 4. Imaging. Image can be in the form of a word or series of words that can clarify what the poet is trying to convey, because it inspires the reader's imagination. Imaging divided into 3 types. First, visual imaginary, which is displaying certain words that cause the things the poet describes as visible to the reader. Second, auditive image or hearing, namely the creation of expressions by the poet so that the reader can seem to hear the sound as described by the poet in his poetry. And the last, tactile image are feelings, namely the creation of strong expressions by the poet so as to influence the reader. I'll give you one example of poetry and check it out. How brave we are to dream what seems an impossible dream. It takes courage to dream, to believe in our dream, to listen to our heart, to listen to our soul, to walk our journey toward the unknown. Our dream won't change, causes discomfort and eyes for action. It needs love, it needs patience, and requires faith. Faith in ourselves, faith in the universe, faith in our vision, faith in our heart, faith in our soul, and faith in our dream. We may want to run, we may want to stop, we may want to scream, and we may want to cry. Race if we must, but we must never stop believing, never give up on your dream. Be daring, be brave, be you, and one day in a single heartbeat, your beautiful dream comes true. Based on the poetry, there is some structures and characteristics in every word, such as typography, dictions, imaging, tactile image or feelings, and etc. And we can conclude that the poet used some words to explain about the feelings of the poetry to achieve our dream by follow our hearts, which means our dreams will become true.
The third section, after teacher explain all about this example, teacher give exercise to students. There are two examples given by the teacher, namely listening session and a speaking session. In the listening session, students are asked to listen to a poetry example of a poem entitled Dream. And speaking session, students are asked to answer the question. For example, what is a poem about? What is the purpose of the poem? And the third is, what is the moral message of the poem? After students learn this material, students are expected to be able to know about literature, especially musical poetry, by listening to musical poetry video. Second, to enrich students' vocabulary by listening to musical poetry video. The third, to improve students' ability in interpreting meaning in poetry. And the last, to increase students' ability in expressing a musical poetry. After the teacher give exercise, teacher can closing this process learning. And teacher should give the conclusion from the learning about this material. And the last, teacher closing this learning will say, thank you for your attention and I hope you all understand what I teach to you today.
After our group explain how to using musicalization poetry to teach English, we hope teacher can use this material for teach their students and make interesting process of teaching and learning in classroom. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget like, comment, and subscribe this video.